Morning. Just about to share my second video. I've just 5 minutes ago filmed my journal swap with Kathleen Stumby. So I'll probably put these both up one after the other. I just want to share a little bumblebee that I've used. It's actually a design team project I've used for Artymaze with her bee kit, which is absolutely gorgeous. I will link the kit that I've used and a link to Andrea's channel, Artymaze. In fact, I've actually got 2 TNs on the go as well as this, because this is a custom order. So my TNs will show a little bit more. These I've just used a lot of the papers cut down to fit this. But the TN is obviously the proper TN size. So when I've finished them this weekend, I think you'll get a better see how gorgeous the papers actually are. But this, I've made one of these last year. In fact, I made about 3 of these last year, and they were on, had them on Instagram. And a lady got in touch with me and asking me would I consider making another one. So I just thought, well, I had planned to make some bee journals this summer. And when I saw Andrea's kit, I just thought it was perfect. So, like I said, I do think this is already sold. So I don't think it'll be going into my Etsy shop. But I just want to quickly run through it before I send it off. It's a 6x4. I love this size because it's a nice size for me, and I can, well, it's not mine, but I can fit it in my bag. But I do like this size. That's why I tend to be making quite a few journals this size recently. It's got 5 signatures in. Let me see. I think it's probably got about 120 pages in off the top of my head, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, I've just laid the cover up with a bee image, some corrugated card, music paper, and just little bits of cheesecloth and doily that I've coloured. I've just run the same doily, which was, I just thought it looked a bit like a beehive. So that went along the spine. At the back, I've just used some modelling paste, and just done stenciled a beehive. Not hive, what do you call that? Them things on it. Right. It's got a seam binding ribbon, which I've coloured with, I think it's Tim Holtz honey, is it? I think it's honey. I've got a fabric covered, which I've also used the same distressed sprays to colour it, and then I just lightened it a bit with gesso. I've got a little bee charm on the, very simple closure, because I think once you start putting your own stuff in, they get a little bit bigger. You can sort of keep it as big or as flat as you like. Make sure I'm in frame. Excuse me. Weather here is lovely again today. Strange, since we've been on lockdown, I don't think we've had a day's rain. We've just had solid sunshine, but I'm fine with lockdown at the moment. Like I said in my previous video, I'm busy. I've got gardening to do. I've got cooking. I like crafting. It's given me a good chance to catch up with friends, and I'm in various WhatsApp groups with friends, and we send each other little positive messages every day. And sometimes I'm trying this time. I'm just trying to focus on more of what I can do rather than what I can't do, and I think that's the only way you're going to get through this. So I've just reading this morning that I think we're going to be in about another 3 weeks lockdown, so that's bringing it to 6 weeks. And I know it must be hard if you've got children at home. I haven't. There's only me and my partner, so it's pretty easy for us. But I've been doing lots of cooking, baking. Like I said, my garden is looking best it's looked in ages, and doing my yoga, I'm doing my crafting. I just seem to be really busy, and then I'm reading like everyone else, catching up on Netflix stuff. I'm fine with that at the moment. I think the weather's helping, but that's not getting me through explaining my journal, is it? Right. The front, I've just got a couple of bits of Tim Holtz. With this one, I've tried to use bits and pieces, destashing a little bit. So I've got various papers in this. I've used Edith Holden and stuff. This I bought ages ago off an Etsy seller, and I can't remember who it is. Just some book pages about herbs and gardening. Some more Edith Holden. And these now are from the kit that I've used. It's a lovely kit. It's actually so many papers in it and journaling cards and tags. I haven't used it all, but I have used a lot more in the TNs that I'm working on. This is just some paper I distress sprayed with the Tim Holtz honey, I think it's called. I absolutely love that colour. It just makes me think of summer. Another little journaling card, which I've just put a little bit of Tim Holtz ephemera in that I'm trying to use up. Some more of the bee papers. I'm really sorry about this. I know it's very dark and I've got shadows and everything now coming on. But like I said, the sun's coming right through the window at the moment. I should really film this at night, but I prefer to do it when the house is empty during the day. Some more. I've left plenty of writing space in this because obviously, you know, whatever somebody's ordered it, they probably want to write in it. Another one of these cards from Andrea's kit, which I absolutely love them. Just another little flip out. Some Edith Holden. That was an image off Pinterest. Some more bees. Love bees. And I've seen loads of really big bees in my garden this week. And I'm trying to plant a lot more stuff in my garden that attracts bees. The only thing is I can't get to the garden centre at the moment, so I'm a bit stuck from buying plants. Another journaling card with just put a little corner tuck here. A little pocket, which I've used some of the paper from the kit. All the writing paper and stuff is so lovely. It's all got like a honeycomb effect and I love the colours. A little bit more of Tim Holtz ephemera. Plenty of space for writing on that. Just laid a few tags up. And I made a little belly band with this little ticket that came in the kit. I think that image is off Pinterest as well. A little bit of music paper. Here I've made a little bit of a flip with extra journaling space. Oh, I'm still on my... Oh, I'm on the middle of my second signature. That card, journal card, beautiful. Love the little bee and the flowers. I've backed some of these with I've just printed it. I think these are just nice for writing. So I haven't left the backs plain. If they're not being got tea or coffee stained paper on, they usually printed something on. Little stamp, just because. Have a beautiful day. Some more of that lovely honeycomb writing paper. Little bee stamp. And this is the beginning of, I think that's more Edith Holden. I've recently ordered myself a book. It's an Edith Holden book, but not as much of her normally. It's all about her life story. It's really, really interesting. Halfway through that at the moment, because I'm quite interested in her as a person and how she was so inspired by nature and things. So it's a really good read. If anyone, I picked it up very cheaply on eBay. So if anyone sees it, and it was free postage as well. I think I paid about $1.99 for it. So it's a really good read. A little bit of a book which is just all about flowers and a bit of baking paper. I've made a little tuck spot up with some corrugated cards, some burlap, a little ticket from the kit, journaling card, honeybee. Just gessoed them so you can write on the back. And some more writing space, Edith Holden. A little bit of I just do these little like little, what's that stuff, bubble wrap, and I just stamp it. And I always think it gives like a bit of a honeycomb effect. I'm sorry, the lighting, this is shocking today, isn't it? Do apologise, but it's just to give you a rough idea. Little tuck spot and a journaling card. This is the centre of my third signature. More Edith Holden, more of that honeycomb paper. Edith Holden, little envelope which I've cut up put that. I've seen Gina Wiseman and Angela Curry that do these pockets, and I just really love them, and I just think, because I've got a lot of envelopes knocking about and I've been saving them, so it's time to start doing something with them. Just some more paper that's been distressed with honey. Honey distress spray, not honey. A little tag. Not sure if it's an American, if they have it in America, but we have a store in the UK called Fat Face, and I just love the tags. They always get really nice vintagey looking tags with the stuff. So I've just covered over them with a couple of tickets, and I always keep them, and I've got quite a pile of them because I do buy a lot of Fat Face stuff. I just like the clothing. Journaling card, one of these little seed packets which flips open to give you some more space for writing, and little pockets to tuck things in. And I will put a couple of journaling cards in here, but I haven't got round to it yet. Just collaged it up with some bits of scraps I've had lying around. Now this is one of the papers from the bee kit, which I absolutely love. It's got like quite a large bee on the corner of it, and it's just lovely, and I love the colours on it. So that just flips open. Is that in frame a bit? Yeah. And I've just made up another little tuck spot where I've used another one of those Fat Face tags, just covered them up. Bit more, another little journaling card. But isn't it gorgeous, that paper? One of the journaling cards which I've just made into a tuck spot with another journaling card underneath it. I said this kit does come with so much more, but I haven't really put it in this one because I think the lady wanted it like the one she'd seen on Instagram, so, and I didn't have that kit last year, so I will show it a lot better in my next TNs, the kit. Here I've just made up a little collage of scraps onto a tag which I've gessoed. This is a wallpaper piece which I absolutely love. It makes me think of summer. Just done the other side of that envelope, covered it over. Put a little butterfly, some more Edith Holden. I think this is the last signature now. Little bees stamping, little book page, how plants live, some more writing space. And here I've just done a little collage, the honeybee, the hive, and a little bee which have fussy cut out. And then just made what's it called, a tag with some bits of scraps and a little round bee. Little tuck spot which I've done from a tea bag, and a little scrap of that honeycomb paper I had knocking about. In fact, I could put something even smaller in the front, that at the back. These are lovely. Just love all the little journaling cards in this kit. And this is another one of the papers which I love. It's Mysteries of Beekeeping Explained, and it opens into a flip. I said there's a lot of writing in it. I think there is 125 pages maybe. And just put a little tuck spot here where I've got a little bit of Tim Holtz, just because I thought the colours went quite well with this kit. Back of Edith Holden, and here, oops, I haven't put, I do need to put something in here which I will. I've just made a little tuck spot out of the tickets that you get, and there's space for another, and I will put some more journaling cards in this. And that's the journal. It does say close quite nicely. It closes pretty flat. And I've got another 2B journals, traveller's size, which are basically complete, and hopefully I should be able to film them maybe a weekend. Might finish them by then. Hope you're all enjoying the weather, and I hope it lasts for the length of the time we're in lockdown. I know it's very strange times, aren't they? But I hope you're all doing well and coping, and I know it's not always easy for some people, but just try and focus what you can do in it rather than you can't. I think sometimes it just changes your mindset a little, and I think if you tell yourself you're a prisoner and you're frustrated, I think you sort of feel like that, but just try and take some positives out of it anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. Take care, talk soon, bye.